When I spoke to the LG Electronics CEO just recently, he said that this was on the table, that everything was being considered. But I wondered if they would go ahead, given that we have seen some other South Korean companies trading in India not doing that great. So what could be eventually the valuation that we could get for this unit, first of all?
Well, thanks for having me. Yes, of course. I mean, the spotlight on the Indian IPO market, it keeps on getting stronger and stronger, and that's now LG Electronics joining Hyundai, Motor Corp in looking to list an Indian unit. And as per what Bloomberg has reported previously, the valuation could be in the range of about 12 to 13 billion dollars for the Indian unit. That roughly puts it in the watermark if you look at from an INR point of view, in more than a trillion rupees. So that'll be a decent size IPO, decent market capitalization to start off the Indian unit. Remember, LG is a household name in India. From me to my parents, even my friends, everybody has one or the other household appliance that has been produced by LG or made by LG. So it is a well-known name in India, in Indian households, and therefore, companies probably looking to capitalize on that brand name, that brand pull, and of course, the very red-hot IPO market that we have in India.
But that's the thing, right? I mean, we have seen other foreign companies also enter the market, but not perhaps that successfully when they listed, like Hyundai Motor India, for example. Are we expecting more companies to come in? What's the feeling right now around this very hot market?
Yeah, I mean, even though, recently the secondary market has, tapered off a little bit, we have seen quite a bit of outflows from the secondary market, but the outlook for the IPO market remains quite strong. Many of the, the largest investment bankers here are expecting themselves to be very busy in 2025 as well, including some of these billion-dollar plus IPOs. We already know, from reporting previously from Bloomberg reporters that LG is looking to raise more than $1 billion with its IPO, which will probably happen now next year. There is the National Stock Exchange, which is also considering going public, and that has been their intention. Plus, we have the Indian unit of the housing unit of HDFC Bank, which is also looking at a potential billion-dollar IPO. So therefore, the IPO market outlook looks quite strong. But what has been interesting is some of these foreign companies now looking to take advantage of this market by listing their Indian subsidiaries. Bloomberg has previously reported that German auto components maker Mahle is considering an IPO for its Indian unit, as well as the Italian component maker Carraro, which has already filed for an IPO with the Indian regulator. So clearly, the pipeline remains quite strong. This is on the back of in companies raising more than $15 billion this year from the IPO market, with more than 300 companies listing on the exchanges.